Hiya, this is Nutty and this is your Slammiversary predictions for TNA. This is going to be half rant and half predictions, I'm afraid, because I am not very keen on this card. Okay, starting from the top. Well, from the bottom actually. Abyss versus Desmond Wolfe. Ugh, really? Do we have to watch this again? I like Desmond Wolfe. I just don't want to watch him against Abyss. I just have so little time left for Abyss. I just find him really dull with his current persona. I think he would be so much better off just going skits and going back to his monster-esque gimmick. Brother Ray versus Jesse Neal, another match I don't particularly want to watch. Does anyone really care? I don't think anyone is bothered at all who wins that one. What do we got next? AJ Styles versus Jay Lethal. Could be a good match. It's kind of match of the wannabe Flairs, which is kind of ugh. If it was AJ being pure AJ and Jay Lethal being as good as he can be, it would be a really good match. Unfortunately, I don't really see that happening, so it's kind of like, what else have we got? Knockouts. Roxy versus Madison Rayne. You can put the title on Roxy, I'm not particularly bothered. I'm not fussed about that match, really. Unfortunately, I'm not that fussed about the X Division match either, and the X Division is usually the one thing I look forward to on every card. But I don't really like Brian Kendrick. I suppose it could be an alright match, but even still, it's a bit blah. Matt Morgan and To Be Announced versus the band. I have so many issues with this, it's just not real. For a starter, why the hell isn't it Motor City Machine Guns? And why the hell do the band have the tag titles in the first place? I don't get putting titles on guys that don't need them. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, to a certain extent, I can. Rob Van Dam having the title is good for TNA. It's good for the advertising for TNA. But I don't get the bands having the title. It's two guys who are too old to be carrying around titles. They don't need them. It's not doing their legacy any good. I actually really liked Razor Ramon and I really liked Diesel back in the day, and it's just kind of sad watching them now. Right, the ones I'm slightly more enthusiastic about, well, having said that, I'll get to the last one and be back on rant mode. Kurt Angle versus Kaz. This could be a good match. I actually really like Kazarian as a wrestler, and obviously Kurt Angle is one of the best in the world still, bless him. However, I kind of get the feeling that this match and the AJ Styles Lethal match are going to be tied in. I'm really hoping that this is going to be the end of Flair's hold over AJ Styles. I'm actually kind of... I'll run through who I think is going to win afterwards. But I'm really hoping that you might find AJ losing and then Flair ditching him, and then AJ interfering in the Angle versus Kaz match to make Kaz win by DQ. Sorry about that, small sneezing fit in the middle of the video. I do apologise. Ugh, my phone's going off as well. I'm not having a good day today. one of the few matches I am looking forward to, Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson versus Beer Money. This could be worth a watch. I like Mr. Anderson. I think you could literally shove a mic in his hand and just let him go, which is the perfect person to put with Jeff, because you don't really want a mic in Jeff's hand. So that's great. That works for me. Versus Beer Money. Beer Money are alright. I quite like Beer Money. I'd rather see Motor City Machine Guns, but they're just not using Motor City Machine Guns. It's really frustrating because every single time they do a pay-per-view, everyone's like, give us a good X Division match, give us Motor City Machine Guns, and they nag and they nag and they nag, and then they get put on at the last minute and they win. They give them #1 contenders and they never follow through with it, and it's just really, really frustrating for me. Right, Sting versus Rob Van Dam. There's so much that's just not right with this. For a starter, we should have King of the Mountain. If you look at the quality of how many really good guys you've got, even if you took the top 5 contenders and put them in a King of the Mountain, it would have been far more interesting to watch. I don't think Sting should have a belt on him at this point, and I don't think the whole there's no passion to this match. There's nothing that makes you think, yeah, there's something in this I care about. I think the biggest problem with this whole card is the fact that there's nothing you really care about. There's not a single match on here that makes me think, wow, yeah, that's going to be amazing. I mean, Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson versus Beer Money could be alright. Kurt Angle versus Kaz could be alright. AJ Styles versus Lethal could be alright. And the rest of it I just don't give a toss about. I really don't. Which is kind of annoying. It's just so frustrating with TNA that they have the best roster quite possibly as any of the wrestling groups, and it's just they just don't use it anywhere near as well as they could do, which is extremely frustrating. Anyway, that was my TNA Slammiversary rundown. I'm just going to give you my who I think will win. Not that I actually care. AJ Styles versus Lethal. Abyss versus Desmond Wolf because Abyss won the last one. Brother Ray versus Jesse Neal because they're trying to bring him up and push him kink. Jeff Hardy, Mr. Anderson versus Beer Money. I'd have Hardy and Anderson go over, but that's my personal preference. I think Beer Money probably will, so I'll say Beer Money. Kurt Angle versus Kaz. I think Kaz is going to win due to DQ interference. Roxy versus Madison Rayne. Don't care, Roxy. Matt Morgan versus the band, as much as I think it's absolutely stupid. Brian Kendrick versus Douglas Williams. Sting versus Rob Van Dam. And that's my run through. Alright guys, so I will see you on Sunday night and we'll find out whether I was right or whether I was wrong. Take care, boys and girls.